They say a box without a label is a lost parcel. Not for me. There are hard hitters and drillers who can pinpoint one true thing in their lives. But this one is for people who are passionate about many things. Those who love learning and living life. Yes, and follow your curiosity. Let's talk about entrepreneurship, travel, life adventures, challenges, successes, and experiences. I would always hear people describe the plethora of things that I do with "that's SoChal." No adjectives, just that. So I'm ready to play with that. I'm a middle child, so let's move out of the binary and explore the in-betweens. I call this Essential Real Talk and Stories. Life is a buffet spread. Feel free to experience as much as you can, one bite at a time. Welcome aboard as we take off for some social conversations. Taking flight today is my social conversation with Reese Fernandez. Welcome aboard, everyone. I'm very happy to finally airborne. Yes, this is our first episode for SoChal. This has been going on, this idea, for about a year already. People have been telling me to do it, to go for it. And finally, when it struck me that what we needed the most is, to be able to create conversations and connect with people during this time rather than just be distant. Of course, physically distant, we can actually still connect and get social with each other through these meaningful conversations. So here we are today. I'm finally doing it, and I'm so happy that you guys could join in. What is SoChal all about? Well, it's all about women empowerment. That I can truly say. And we really hope that this one could inspire you through other people that we will be talking to and who will be sharing their life stories. And at the very least, we hope that you will be able to connect with it. Maybe you could resonate with other people's challenges, what they've gone through, or maybe their stories as well. Whatever it is, this is for you. I used to be really insecure about being a Jane of all trades, because they say a Jane of all trades, a Jack of all trades, master of none. Not true. Now I'm a master of being a Jane of all trades, and I really found my confidence in it. And the people that will be coming on board are not just are multidimensional. They actually have many facets to them. They wear many hats. Exactly like my favorite hero, our national hero, Jose Rizal. We all know he's a doctor, he's a writer. Did you guys know he was also a farmer and a lover as well, and so many other things? So these are the wonderful women that I'm bringing on board to show you that, it's not about the binary. It's not just about being right or wrong, left or right, working mom, stay-at-home mom, or not a mom, single, or couple. We are very multifaceted people. So speaking about that, I'm not going to waste any more time because this girl has a lot in her hands, and I'm so happy that she said yes to this. Everyone, travel buddies, I have with me no other than Reese Fernandez Ruiz. Reese?
Hi, Chal. Hello. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. And when you were saying welcome aboard, I'm having like flashbacks of actually being aboard like a plane or somewhere else. But it's keeping us safe right now, so we're good here. So thank you for taking us on this flight, even if
Yes, I love
it's
it.
virtual. Yeah.
I love it, Reese. Pwede na mag-co-host then among the other list of things that you do. People know you, of course, Reese Fernandez. It always gets attached to you, Maybe later we'll talk about that because you actually helped me understand a few things with it. Yung social entrepreneurship, but I think the better word that you mentioned is meaningful entrepreneurship. But people know you with rags to riches. People know you to be a really inspiring speaker. Just so everyone knows, when I met Reese, it was really quick. I'm sure she doesn't remember it. She meets a lot of people in her life. But we were awarding her for Go Negosyo. I was the host at the time, and I was able to do a quick interview with her. This was years and years back. And after that, tuloy-tuloy na lahat ng awards nonstop. Just last year, the big Rolex word came out. You were also awarded for that. I'm sure a lot of young and women awards came along your way as well. I'm not going to mention it because I always say if I mention it, it's called, this is where I get to say too many to mention. Okay, but aside from being a public speaker, to be able to inspire other people, an entrepreneur, you're also a mom of two boys. And also you do a lot of other things. You actually came up with sanitize page on IG that I saw during this pandemic. Tama ba?
Yes, exactly. Because I'm super allergic to really strong scents of alcohol, which we had to like douse all over the place when the quarantine was starting. So we thought we just make our own. We collaborated with friends and we made our own para hindi na ako ma-allergy. So it came out of a need.
It's beautiful that you said it came out of a need because most women that I talk to, or even entrepreneurs that I talk to, kadalasan things are brought about because of a problem or a need. And I like how you really go about things. I get allergic. Oh, I'll make it myself. Ang galing. I mean, that says a lot about you. And what about things that matter? What's that you see?
Yeah, so Things That Matter is a platform that we came up with in Rags to Riches also a few years ago because we thought, we learned so much in our entrepreneurship journey. We have made so many mistakes, and we have this platform where there are so many advocates who are supporting us. So why not share this platform with other entrepreneurs who are doing something similar, and make it a platform not just for them to sell, but for us to learn from each other. So that's essentially Things That Matter.
Great. So you're actually making it a very inclusive platform for others to come in with. Reese, you mentioned Rags to Riches. We cannot not talk about you. This is your baby. Everyone knows Rags to Riches connected to you. I remember crossing with the brand because you had a partnership. This is way back. Lalabas ang edad ko with Rahul Laurel, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have a few rags to riches stuff here of my own. They're there hidden in my cabinet, just a few steps
Yay.
away from me. So yeah, to the young ones who are just learning about rags to riches, tell us quickly. I know it's hard to do it quickly, but just maybe a brief way of how this all began, because it's no ordinary brand.
Sure. Thank you so much, Chal. Yes, actually, we started 13 years ago. That will really date us for sure. Na talagang may date na. And we started because of a problem that we saw in the community. So I wasn't the only one who was there. I'm part of a group of co-founders. So very fortunate that I'm part of a group of co-founders because I was fresh. I was a fresh graduate, and even if I thought I knew a lot, I really didn't know much. So no experience, right? So I really learned from the best, from people who were there when we started. So we saw that a group of artisans there who are mostly women in Payatas, that's where we started, but we're now all over Metro Manila. We met them, and their problem is that they were only earning about 10 to 16 pesos a day for weaving rugs the whole day because they didn't have access to the supply of the fabric, and they didn't also have access to the market. So they're in between so many middlemen or middlewomen. But these people, the people in between, also didn't know that they were part of this whole chain of social injustice. So this is not a unique story. It's a story of so many enterprises, so many communities all over the world. So we saw this problem, and rather than just say, this is a problem that we see all over the world every day anyway, so let's not do anything about it because we can't. We ask ourselves, what can we do, even with this small community first? So we started Rags to Riches that way. We started improving the rugs, but we knew that we couldn't just stop there because we had to create even better looking products, higher value products. So we tapped amazing, very generous designers, Philippine designers like Rahul Laurel, Amina Aranaz Alunan, Oliver Tolentino. I could go on and on. We have had so much support for the past 13 years. It's unbelievable. So yeah, that's how we started. That's how we evolved. And so today we are a fashion and design house empowering community artisans from the Philippines.
I love it. While you were talking about, your partnerships, I was thinking, oh, I have that item. Oh, yeah, I have that from that. Um, you, we received a question, or a couple of questions actually, and this one I could bring in as early as now. What made you come up with the name Rags to Riches? Why that name? That's one of the questions that we received.
It's an awesome question. I didn't come up with a name. So it's one of our co-founders who came up with the name Rags to Riches because we started with rags. Like literal rags that the artisans used to weave. They still weave rags up to now and rugs up to now. But now it's just so much more than that. So we thought that, Rags to Riches is like a good symbolic name for transitions and transformations. We didn't really know that we would be a fashion brand when we were like sold on the name. So when we became a fashion brand, we started evolving it into R2R. So rags to riches, yes, definitely, and we honor the history and the meaning of the name. But at the same time, we're gonna shorten it because it's very long, and it's gonna be R2R because it's more it's it would look like, at least it's now a fashion brand and it has evolved as well. So even the name has evolved. Hindi naman siya
I
nawala,
love
but it has evolved.
No, I love R2R. That's everything I am. Relax and relaxation naman ako.
Yeah.
yung R2R na alam ko, no? Being in the travel industry. So, would you consider yourself a social entrepreneur? Not social, but social entrepreneur there.
Yeah, so when we were starting, that was again 13 years ago. Social enterprise was such a young concept. Like I
Yeah.
didn't really know. Um, like I knew what it meant, but there were just so many definitions. So it was hard to select like the definition that fits us. But we called ourselves a social enterprise partly because we wanted to be accountable. Like when we say we're gonna do this, when we say we're going to try to as much as possible like improve lives, we want people to hold us accountable to that. We want ourselves to hold ourselves accountable to that. Um, and that's why we called ourselves a social enterprise. But I think it has evolved as well throughout the years. The purpose hasn't evolved, the purpose is still the same. But social enterprise and social entrepreneurship as a term just has so many definitions. And for me, uh, instead of putting that divide, when I think it's still important to have that definition, but instead of putting that divide, um, I want to encourage like more businesses to be more inclusive, to be more empowering. Because honestly, so many businesses have been doing that already, even without calling themselves a social enterprise. So I'm very happy that that's happening around the world. Even bigger corporations are really trying. I mean, we should try more, but it's much better that we're already trying than we're just ignoring the problems. So right now, we don't necessarily call ourselves a social enterprise like all the time. Sometimes medyo ano na siya, habit na siya. So we call it that sometimes. But for us, we're a business and we create livelihood opportunities for some of the most vulnerable members of society. We try to be as inclusive as possible. We try to upcycle as much fabric, as much waste as we can. So we try to do good every step of the way. It's hard to do things perfectly. I don't think anyone can. But I think as long as we try, we'll go towards the right direction. So, yes and no. Parang yes, I think because of medyo habit na kasi siya. Because 13 years. So, for the first few years, we've been calling ourselves that ang hirap niya tanggalin sa vocabulary. So, nothing against the term at all. But I think I want to broaden it a bit and include more businesses who are actually doing good as well.
I love it. Well, maybe I could share a little bit. Because of this pandemic, I was pushed to learn. I had time to learn, so there was a free online Harvard siya, pero free lang. Yung mga EDX
Harvard
classes.
pa rin. Mahirap yun.
Harvard online. And I took up about sustainable entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. And I just love it when that's why I said I love it, because you said it's all about just doing good. the best way that you can, not the perfection, not be perfecting it, but rather finding progress and being able to help others. But the sustainable word there that I learned is not just about sustainable for other people, but sustainable as a business. Because how can you help without your business earning and being able to sustain all of these people, the partners, the workers, no? And that's something I think R2R was able to really do and create as a brand. Now, with or without being recognized as a social entrepreneur, social business or a social entrepreneur yourselves, uh, the name itself will stand, and that's the beauty of it. Now that 13 years, sorry parang parang 13 years ang tagal na nun.
Oo nga
Pero
may teenager na.
yeah, 13 years. I'm sure you were able to find the twists and turns and find your way through all the difficulties. Retail din to eh. I'm sure there, all challenges has happened, and I'm sorry, but we can't avoid not talk about it. COVID happened, and
Yeah.
a lot of us know, barely anyone I think I know, has been spared with it, whether mentally, into their business, their lives, no?
Yeah.
How was it for you? What do you think? Anong pinakamalaking challenge that you've been through in 13 years? Was it this? Was it the pandemic? Or was it something else?
No,
Gusto ko yung...
actually, hindi. No, actually, Shal, I was so happy when you were introing this whole show because you were talking about inspiration. You're talking about, when some people could be lost out there and just thinking about ano na yung pwede kong gawin sa susunod, or how can I recover from something. And you also mentioned a while ago about financial sustainability, so that we can continue doing what we do best, which is creating opportunities, creating products that are meaningful. But we haven't always been, hindi talaga ganito yung mindset namin before. So we actually made so many mistakes along the way. On the sobrang dami. Sa 13 years, we've made so many mistakes. And the mistakes actually led to a very difficult year for us, which was 2016, where we almost closed. So we considered closing talaga. And that happened. I mean, I talk about it na rin naman. It's not a secret.
Yes.
And it's good to talk about it.
Yes.
Because tapos na siya. It's harder to talk about it when it was still happening, diba? Ganun yun eh. People love success stories, but only when it's done. Only when it's tapos na. Success na siya. But kapag pinagdadaanan mo pa siya, hindi pa siya, parang hindi pa siya magaan ikwento.
Or tayo mismo nahihirapan din ikwento, di ba?
Yeah, oo. Kasi, syempre, there are so many things na at play there. You're worried about the communities, you're worried about the company, you're worried about yourself. There's so many worries. So, ang hirap i-process at i-share. So, 2016 was a very, very difficult year for us. I was also pregnant with my first kid in 2016. So, we had to go through so many changes in the company, and I was crying almost every day while pregnant with my first kid. So, it was so difficult. But that year also gave us a lot of clarity. It helped us have more discipline. It helped me to become a better person, a better leader. We actually fixed the company culture before that. And then the company culture was put to the test during that year. And I think the culture was so strong that the company made it. So, hindi lang culture yung naging dahilan. There were so many supporters, so many partners who came and helped us. And we got really lucky. I couldn't take away the luck part eh. It's not just us. And it's not just ang galing-galing namin or ang galing-galing ko. Luck has a lot to do with it also. So, but you have to be ready when you get lucky. So, luck will come, but dapat ready ka for it. Kasi kung hindi ka ready, di wala rin.
Reese, what do you mean by luck for you? Ano yung luck? Kasi ako personally, I always say, oh my God, I'm so lucky. Pero when I work hard. So, parang that's me. But so when you said the ingredient of luck, what is it for you?
So, for example, you put yourself out there all the time, right? But sometimes, big buyers will notice, sometimes they won't. it's also a matter of convergence. Like sometimes makikita nila. Kung nakita nila and then you're not ready, wala ka pa rin. Pero kung nakita nila and you got lucky because nakita nila but you're ready, then that event becomes something that you can take like as an opportunity rather than coincidence. So, ganun siya. You still have to work hard. Parang you can't just sit there and wait for things to happen. You have to make things happen, but there are still some things that you can't push na makakontrol mo.
True.
Yeah, but okay lang kasi you make yourself better. You make yourself ready. So that when it happens, and chances are it will, kasi it comes and goes naman then you're ready. You'll take it on.
I was hearing you share a while ago about yung sa sanitize, you needed it, so you made it.
Yeah.
And you saw something also, with sa payatas ba yun for rags to riches, so you also created something, and with a team of people, with a group of people. So it seems to me that you're a doer. Okay,
Yeah.
but I want human Reese. I need human Reese. Being a doer, do you ever procrastinate or get lazy or cry na parang hindi ko na kaya, I want to give up? May ganun ka rin ba?
So I think na-practice ko na kasi siya masyado. I'm very level-headed. I don't get overwhelmed easily. So,
Nice.
and I think that's because I process a lot of things on my own. Like I write a lot, I journal a lot, which helps. Kasi what overwhelms you sometimes are the things that you don't understand. But if you try to understand them, parang less yung overwhelm. May times na ganun, na sobrang overwhelming. Nung 2016 lalo na. Kasi like, I don't know the way out. Like, wala, hindi mo alam, so ayaw mo na, ganun. And I'm not the type to give up. I don't really give up easily. So yun, sulat lang ng sulat until I understand what's going on in my own head and in the universe. And I'm like, okay, I can accept that. I've processed that. So mas level-headed na ako. But I do my best work if I'm running out of time. So medyo procrastination din. Parang pag malapit na yung deadline. So I'm a planner. So sometimes I put it like way ahead of time. Kung gagawin ko yan by this time. So pangit. hindi ko gusto yung output. But kapag bukas na yung deadline, tapos kailangan ko siya gawin today, ang ganda niya. So stress pa rin. Pero I don't know why that is.
You said planner, and it was supposed, it really matches the next thing I'll be asking you. There's this thing, okay, that gets attached to you aside from the amazing awards and businesses and how much people you've inspired and helped. And it's spreadsheet geek. Ano ba yun? Because you said planners. Ano yan? Tell us about this spreadsheet geek.
Oh my
Kasi,
God, how
wala
much
pa rin
time do
ako.
we have, Chal?
Kasi hanggang ngayon, I'm still struggling with Excel, no? So, natalon ko na siya. So I need it. I need to know about this spreadsheet geek.
Okay, so thanks, Chal. Actually, so let's discuss that also about spreadsheets and the struggles of spreadsheets because I really love spreadsheets. It started like a long time ago. I've always loved like playing with numbers and putting together some models. The first spreadsheets that I made, I think I was in early college yata or like sometime high school. I made a dating game. Like a dating app. Yung para mag-automatic compute siya for compatibility. May ganun ako nung bata. So, I really like kasi automating things. So, yun. And spreadsheets can do that. I probably need mga 3 hours to talk about my love for spreadsheets. But it's so helpful. I'm a believer kasi that if you don't know something, it can actually be very detrimental for you, especially if it's cash, if it's finances. Pag hindi mo siya alam, parang hindi mo alam kung magkano utang mo, hindi mo alam ang credit card mo, it's super dangerous. So, spreadsheets help me make everything in my life more transparent. So, I also use it as like a strategy tool for our team. So, talk to anyone in R2R and they will tell you that we have like like major spreadsheet strategy file where it's updated every day, and then we see the income statement, we see everything. I mean, I do, and it's available to everyone, but I'm the only one looking at it sometimes. So, I encourage naman everyone to look at it, like our team. Pero wala. Minsan ako lang talaga natutuwa sa spreadsheets. But
Reese, I can't. I'm supposed to pause for a commercial, but I can't. I can't because I need to ask you one more question about
yeah,
this. Exactly. I'll be honest. I only really started delving into data this pandemic. As in this, that's one of my greatest learning. Talagang data, data, data. Everything is database
yes.
na ako.
Yes.
During this pandemic, which is weird because I've been an entrepreneur for so long and I've been dealing with so many professionals, and then I used to wing it. No pun intended. I used to wing it, but now I'm really data driven. And so when you say spreadsheets, for a lot of uh, people listening and women listening here, can you just leave us with something so we could actually? I know you could talk about this because I see your posts. I see you really, you even taught it. You even taught it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you could just share something, how we could for other people how they could start or start with it, or what would be the most how do I say this? Oh, what would be the most practical application of it? I mean, I get it for finances, put your budget, your expenses, but what about for work and other life things?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I could do one better than that. I could even share with you a link on my I'm sharing kasi yeah, I am sharing my my spreadsheets to-do list. So all of my to-dos are in spreadsheets. And it's super convenient, and it takes stuff away from my head. So I could send you the link to that. So essentially, I could put everything that I need to do even until 2025 or beyond. And lalagay ko lang siya lahat, and then lilitaw siya when it's very near. Para I could forget it now. Like for example, if you have to pay for an insurance and you have to pay for it every year and most of the time you forget, you put a reminder there in your spreadsheets, and then when the time comes, it will come out. It's so cool. So yeah. So I do paper and that.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead. Leave the link in the
mm-mm.
comments. I think the women here and everyone listening are typing away. Yes, go. So that would be a gift. Thank you. We actually we didn't expect this. We weren't supposed to talk about this, but you said planning, and I'm like, hold on, hold on. There's something I remember about Reese. Spreadsheet geek. Okay, now we can see it. Thank
Yes. And
you for
budgets, I could also send that. Personal finance.
this is
Madami
something
talaga.
this is something that you do to cope with things, or this is something that you do to really help you with things. That's two different things. Which one is
Yes.
it?
So it's really to help me talaga kasi I have to make things visible for me to understand what to do next. I I I I don't do mental math. Like my son is super good at mental math. As in 5,300 ganyan plus ganito automatic sa kanya. Me, I need spreadsheets to do that. So I need to automate things because yun nga, there are things that are not automatic for me. So I automate them na lang in spreadsheets. So sobrang important niya. It really helps my life. And I wanted to help more lives. Kaya I'm gonna send all of the links that I have on my tutorials. Gumagawa ako ng tutorials, nobody's even asking. I'm like, gagawa ako for you.
true, true to its no word talaga. Spreadsheet. Thank you for that. Thank you. And but I totally agree. Even if I'm a late bloomer with this, sometimes we get so confused and we need to decide on things. Tapos yun pala pag nilagay mo na sa papel, like what you said, when you write things down, it makes a whole lot of difference. And that's why now, even my team, when they talk to me or what, I'd always be like, show me the data. Then I'll be able to decide. I mean,
Wow.
the gut feel is always there, but now, especially nowadays, it's only now that I'm learning this whole data spreadsheets, creating my own too. But very simple. I'm sure mine is far, far, far away from yours. But you also mentioned journaling kasi. And
Yes.
I guess before we get into a short break, I just remembered, you said you're level-headed and you like to journal, and we see that also with your posts sometimes. I just remembered someone saying that, tears, when people cry, they're words unsaid. na parang hindi mo masabi, hindi mo nailabas.
Oh,
And so I guess
totoo.
it's the same thing when you write things down, when you put things down, whether it's just a simple things to do or the story of what happened to you today,
Yeah.
it's being able to flesh out those things in your head. So I love that you brought that up. I just remember those things. Anyways,
That's
we're gonna take
beautiful.
no,
Ang
what you were
ganda.
saying was beautiful, and I'm sure your spreadsheets are beautiful. So we can
Yes, they are.
Reese, we always see you in podiums and stages, receiving awards, your face in the magazine, people talking about you. But it's just so lovely to be able to have this conversation with you, wherein we get to laugh, we get to smile, we get to share a lot of things, and there's more. Hopefully, if you guys stick around, we get to bring up that big word that I can't wait to ask about. Something that made us all so proud, especially last year. Um, Reese and the big word IKEA later on. But first, let's take a short break. SoChal takes flight with Geron Travel. Experience life through travel. Visit at Geron Travel on Instagram and on Facebook. Book it to make your travel happen on www.gerontravel.com. Want to be a travel buddy affiliate? Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a woman with a budding career, at whatever age or with whatever experience, here's something for you. Work from home, be your own boss, manage your own time, and earn extra by sharing and selling amazing travel products and services. Just send us a message at info@gerontravel.com. Pretty nails are healthy nails, and nail care is self-care. Have a posh experience that feels good from your tips to your toes with signature treatments and products. Visit and shop at poshnails.com.ph and follow Posh Nails on IG. Air Trav. The islands of the Philippines are closer than you think. Let's fly and experience premium and safe travel service with AirTrav. Visit airtrav.ph on their website and on Instagram. Now let's continue here at SoChal. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Welcome back aboard. We're still here with Reese Fernandez. I'd love to say she's my co-pilot, but no, she's actually piloting this whole episode for us.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Reese. Really a full discussion on the first half, and already we're learning and getting so much. I'll start off with you're so. I find you. I hope I get it right. I find you like such a headstrong woman, yet so sweet, and so full of I placed that on my caption. I wrote there that when I saw her, what really got to me was the joy in her words. Like when you were able to relay things, you kind of put away the jargon and all these difficult terms, and you were able to explain everything when you were on stage that time. And I said, hey, I love this. Keeping things simple. That's brevity is the soul of wit. So this girl was really smart and had so much wisdom in her. And but to be able to be that, I think someone had to believe in you. Someone had to influence you, or someone had to also, or you grew up in a certain way. So I want to just curious, who helped you progress to be the woman that you are today as an entrepreneur? Maybe did you look up to someone? The usual answers, of course, when we were growing up. Oprah, yan, yung mga favorite natin. But for you, who was it for you? It can't just be you alone.
no, definitely not. I would be lost without people. Um, but I don't have icons who are media personalities. Partly because we didn't have cable growing up. So karamihan ang pinapanood ko
That's
mga
the cutest.
cartoons.
I love that answer.
Yeah, I used to think that cable was literally like The Wire. I didn't know it was like TV with so many channels when I was growing up. And so the people around me who really believed in me, my mom, my dad, my brother. So I have um, the brother that's like next to my age because I'm the oldest. Uh, he influenced me a lot because he's very encouraging. So we're very close. Um, the teachers I had along the way, sobrang dami kasi there's not like one looming character. I guess now it's my husband because I'm with him all the time. And he's also an entrepreneur. He's also one of the co-founders of R2R. So he's one of the biggest influencers in my life. And the way um like our relationship is just so healthy that it allows both of us um to become our best selves. I think that's like for me the best. So I no, I couldn't do this alone. In fact, because I write a lot, right? When I would write things that I did or mistakes that I have made, lagi siyang nakakonect. Like all the lessons are connected to other people and what I learned from them.
Wow, that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, so I'm really gonna be lost without the people around me, like the artisans who keep me in check all the time. Um, just knowing that that I have their trust, we have that trust that we established, and it was really hard to get um, when we were starting R2R. I don't take that lightly. For me, that's so important, and that's key to everything. So for me, relationships, yun talaga, parang that the relationships around me help me grow. That's why relationships are so important. So don't stay with toxic relationships. Wow, may ganun. May biglang relationship
Let's quote that.
advice.
Quote yon. No, no, no. We could be laughing about this, but that's so true.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. How can you handle all of these other things in your life if you're busy with the toxic people around you too? Uh, what during this pandemic was it toxic for you? Was it a lighter load for you? How was it for you? Kasi ako, I'll be honest. For me, talagang I always joke around. If you want to feel better, talk to me. I'm in the travel industry.
Oh
But
my
how
gosh,
was
oo nga.
it? But I mean, at least naman nakakasmile and tawa pa kami. But of course, it's difficult for everyone one way or another. But how was it for you and your brands?
Well, let me just say first that when I see your post, you also have a very hopeful disposition. Very, very sincere, very real, and very honest, but
Oh,
also
really?
still helpful. So, hopeful and helpful. Kaya kudos to that. It
Thanks.
probably is not easy. I could only imagine kasi grabe siya. Like this whole pandemic is binugbog talaga the industry that you are in. So, to still have that disposition and help people is just so amazing. So, galing.
Wow
Um,
naman. Coming from the Reese,
na,
kinalabutan ako. But how was it for
totoo.
you? For you.
Ah, honestly, because we had 2016, I had really good practice with adversity, with difficult challenges. So, that's what I always say now. Na parang if you're going through something difficult, um, you can use that in the future. That's gonna teach you something. I mean, it's hard to think of it as a lesson when you go through it kasi it sucks. But yeah, hassle siya eh. But
Pwede siyang gamitin sa mga podcast, mga ganito, sa
pwede.
interviews. Pero but truthfully, masakit na siya pag 'di ba? During that time. Oo.
Yeah, during that time it's really really painful. So for us 2016 was it. That was the year that like really like tested us. And tested me as a person and as a leader. So noong 2020, I know it's a global pandemic and all, but I was like, okay, we've had good practice. We know how to pivot. We we have like the ingredients to make this work pa rin. So, and we're lucky because we also have like the nature of our work is that our assets are like our people and sewing machines. And what else can you do with sewing machines? You can make masks. So we're like, okay, practically speaking, we also had a very practical way to go on and move forward. Kasi for others, kahit pa may practice din sa challenges, I couldn't say that, it's easy for them as well, that they can also pivot so quickly. So it's case to case. But in our case, it was okay. We were able to keep our team. We were able to even like expand internationally. So we opened our US, North America based online store last October. So in the middle of everything. So we've been very fortunate because we were prepared for it. And the team is really strong. So halos all the office people are working away from each other. So I'm working from home, and then some are working from the office, some are working from their homes. But it worked out because I think the culture is strong enough. And we all know why we're here.
Seems like you were so tested no 2016 that now,
Medyo.
that now ito na. Big, big, huge international brands
Yeah.
know your capabilities, and you were able to make this landmark partnership. What was it? What was this IKEA partnership that you had with, or you have with IKEA? So excited. And
I
congratulations, of course, for
know.
it.
Thank you, thank you. They were very excited too because it's one of my favorite brands in the world. Every time I'm somewhere that has an IKEA, I always go there, and really feel sad that I couldn't buy the cabinet because how am I gonna bring it
Oo,
home?
paano mo dadalhin?
Yes. And now we're gonna have it in the Philippines. I'm very excited about that. So actually, their due diligence happened a few years before. So actually, after 2016, when we recovered, um, and then we started discussing with IKEA because they were looking for potential local partners. We went through the process, all the interviews, the due diligence, and everything. And then last year, right before the lockdown, we announced that we're the official sewing services provider of IKEA Philippines, which means that we will have a space in IKEA, and then we can sew for you. So if you buy if you buy textiles there or curtains, we can alter them. We can make curtains. We can make other things in the sewing services area. Our artisans will be there. Not a lot because we can't like fit everyone in, but we have like shifting happening. So I was very excited about that. That was supposed to happen last year, of course, but it's still going to happen. So the team's very excited.
And we are
My wallet
excited
is shaking.
too. That's so true. And it's not just congratulations to you, your brand, your team, but also congratulations to the Philippines, because you were able to kind of do this also all for us, something that we could be all proud of. We're proud na nga and happy and excited to have, oy, may idea na kami, but we're also even prouder now that, that we have this, thanks to you guys. This partnership happened, was it panliligaw? Yun na lang siguro yung, konting chismis ko. Was it panliligaw? Or was it a knock on the door? Was it the luck that you mentioned? Was it putting yourself out there? Or divine grace? What was it?
Wow. Well, I think it's a mix of, we were fixing ourselves and we have fixed R2R and we were doing better. And then IKEA was also looking for a partner. And they're also very intentional about trying to support local businesses through what they do. So I like that intention as well. But we were selected not just because we do something meaningful for communities, but because we're also committed to quality, which is so important. So it can't just be about like the good feelings and supporting. It has to be, as you mentioned earlier, sustainable, which means that it has to have to make good market sense as well. So I think that's what got us there.
In other words, it's not just a good story for all of us. R2R is really good. That's it.
Yes, or
Own
we're
it.
trying
Yes.
to. Thank you.
Yes.
But it's a no, it's a process. I mean, it's a process.
Yeah.
But a lot of I think some people are afraid of the process, so they'd rather not go through it. If it's hard, if it's too hard, But for me, kasi when I see it and I know that it will make us better, and it's a process that may be difficult but necessary for us to do something greater, then we're gonna go for it. Kasi we can do bite-size naman and then improve along the way. So for us, we have done that ever since we started, and that's, I think, how we got here. Even with all of our mistakes, we did something good consistently pa rin. So we got here. So yun, we're gonna try to even be better because there's no such thing as perfect. I really don't believe that. I think we could only progress.
We are super cheering for you. And I really mean
Oh,
this. I'm not just talking as a host. Talagang, I can't wait.
hi, thank you. I will see you there. We
You
will,
will.
ano, we
You
will
will.
have
You will want
meatballs.
it there.
Yeah.
It's such an exciting thing, to have your art or brand. Yun nga eh, with, you know what? What a journey. What a journey you have taken from the story that started right after you graduated to what you saw, wanting to fix a problem, finding a need. 2016
Yeah.
happens. And then, you showed up still. You were close to giving up and people were there for you and you accepted that help and you took it in. And here you are with all of these things. I don't know. I don't know how your shelf looks with all of the magazines and all the awards that you have. You also
Doesn't
have
look like much. Yeah.
but but wow, what a story, what a journey. I think that's the right way to say it. Speaking about journey, I'm gonna do quick wrap up questions here.
Yes.
Of course, we're still all about journey and travel. So I want to ask you. You travel a lot, but usually also to give talks to
Yes.
inspire other
Mhm.
people and not just for personal travels. Which one would you say is your most memorable travel? Although it's really hard kasi ngayon lahat ng kahit maliit na travel, sige na, everything is so beautiful, diba? Just going to the park even. I think we kind of just lost Reese, but if you guys are still there, I hope you guys were able to hear her story and how inspiring everything has been. She did mention about 2016 having a difficult time, and the reason why I keep bringing it up is because I want other people out there, other women out there, other viewers out there to be able to relate to that and not feel like, oh, everything is perfect, So there, Reese, perfect timing. I was
Yes, I
just
missed that. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened. Game.
yeah. So yes, the favorite, your memorable journey, or actually no, striking journey or striking travel.
Wow. Ang dami nga actually. And yeah, it's so hard to choose what the striking one. But I think okay, I got it. So a few years ago we went to Seoul, to Korea. And I was able to bring the team to Korea. So I was able to get some funding to bring our team to Korea. And we looked at other social enterprises there. We got to interview other meaningful businesses. We got to tour. We stayed in a hostel together in bunk beds and ganun. As in, it's like, it's so, I miss that because those were the days when we could still get together. And I was just sad that I wasn't yet a K-pop or K-drama fan then. So I didn't know
I was
the
supposed to ask next.
significance. I know.
Kung K-pop ka na ba noon or
Hindi
nag-K-drama ka
pa.
na ba noon? Hindi pa
Hindi
natin
pa.
na-appreciate no, no?
Hindi pa. So I was like, I didn't appreciate enough the places that I was in. That that my favorite people right now, sorry, my son is screaming,
It's
that my
okay, bring him
favorite
in.
I know he's like screaming. Okay, okay. So yeah, so I wasn't able to appreciate it then, but in retrospect I appreciate the fact that the whole team was there, at least during that time, the team that we had then, because we learned a lot together, and I miss those days that we could all learn a lot in person together. So those are the days that, well, I miss and I hope will come back soon.
I really hope so. I will wait. I know it will. Okay, maybe not.
Yes.
I don't know
Oh,
when,
for
but it
sure.
will.
It
But it
will, with
will.
the vengeance. It will.
Hopefully, yes. But regardless, it should be back. The outdoors, being out there with everyone, being able to fly again.
Yes.
Reese, I like that you said the word learn with travel because that's why we do it. When we go out, we expose ourselves, we try to learn other cultures, other stories. even the smallest anecdotes we bring back home. So thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that Korea had that scene also. I mean, I'm sure every country has, social entrepreneurship one way or another, but that could be a place pala to learn that. One of the persons that believed in me, okay, when I came up with this idea to actually put, women out there and share their stories, and show these multifaceted parts of their lives, was Kathy Lakad, and she is the maker of Posh Nails. So
Oh,
yeah, so I want to personally ask you, um, the word posh, for example, is not something my friends or people who really know me would associate with me. But somehow, somewhere there, as a mom, as a woman, at the end of the day, I still want to be cared for. I still want to, feel good pa rin from time to time. So how do you keep yourself feeling posh, whatever posh may mean to you?
yeah. That's true, no? I mean, we work so hard. I see all of your pictures, and I know behind them, even if they look so glam, are actually really hard things that you have to do, like non-glamorous things. So self-care is so important, especially for us who give ourselves so much. So for me, my type of, I'm very simple kasi I'm not parang, I don't require much to feel good. So I I dance sometimes to BTS songs, masingit lang siya. Tapos I watch K-drama at night when I'm feeding my baby to sleep. So I'm still breastfeeding. And of course, when you're feeding, you don't have hands to type or stuff like that, but you have like one hand for the phone. And that's what I use. I like watch K-drama. Um, so I've watched a lot already. And I study Korean on weekends.
Oh, you do?
Yes, well, on Saturdays. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
I know
so
one
much
word,
fun.
abuchi, that. Just because I always heard it, it's okay
Abuchi.
not to be okay. And she kept saying
Yes.
that. Oh my gosh, I love that you answered this because it just makes it so real, all the realities of the pandemic, and I used to say like, "Ah, I'm not for K-drama prior to the pandemic." I was like, no, hindi ko maintindihan, hindi ako yan. Oh, but now I totally get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. And there was a time that people would tell me, you should do a K-drama tour, K-pop
Oh my
tour.
gosh,
Yeah,
please.
and so I kind of did, but I couldn't appreciate it myself because I
Yeah.
didn't know yet. But now, as soon as we get back on the road, I
Oh my
know.
gosh. I
Yeah,
am
I
on
love
that.
to.
I am on that tour.
Get ko na siya.
Sign me
Get ko na
up.
siya. So, Reese, I can't believe 1 hour has passed. Wow,
What?
that's
Wow.
yeah. But
Okay, that's fast.
the reason the reason that we do this is because we really wanted people to see not just we as women entrepreneurs, but there are so many aspects to their lives as well, like the reality of it, that we're not just out there looking good and feeling good. There are real stories like your 2016 one,
Yeah.
and that's why I love it that we heard your son, because that's life right now. We
Yeah,
have our kids
it
around
is.
us, while we do these things. So what do you think? You mentioned a lot of stuff that happened to you. And I mentioned those brands that you have came up with. I talked about your spreadsheets too, which I kind of like, uy, may ganun pala si Reese. I love it. So what do you think Reese Fernandez Ruby stands for you? Pang Miss Universe na to, ng level
Oo
na to.
nga
We're gonna
eh.
Yes, because I feel like, it when you say Reese Fernandez talaga, the reason I wanted to put this in is ako talaga, I knew your name ever since even before I met you, because I see you, on the magazines that I read, online, people would talk about you. But and there's this lightness and good-heartedness also, but still a real entrepreneur, behind that. That's for me. But for you, having that, I don't know if your name is a brand for you, but regardless, how would your personal brand be, or how would you want it to be recognized for?
Huh. Actually, hindi ko alam. I haven't really thought that much about like the brand, but I always think about legacy in a different way. So, parang for me, when people, because I recognize that. I recognize that, my name is attached to so many good things and so many good people. And I'm really proud of that. But at the same time, it is scary because, you may make a mistake one day because people do. I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger and they may just, come out. But, yung mga dinedate mo, ganyan. So, mga dati pa yun. Like, such a long time. But, um, I'd like to be seen as a person who's always trying to be better. Like, trying to be better is more important than being a good person right now. Like, already a perfect good person. Wala nang mai-improve pa. I don't want to be that kind. I want to be always growing and always trying to be better. So, if there were things or if there are things that I believe now that one day will be proven as like cruel or damaging or toxic, I'd like to be in a position in the future to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. So, I want to maintain that humility na parang sana lagi akong pwedeng matuto. Sana lagi ako pwede mag-improve. May I never reach that point in my life where I tell people that, ay, napagdaanan ko na yan, alam ko na yan. Or, ay, alam ko na yan, ganyan. Nung panahon ko, ganito. I don't ever want to be that person who cannot grow because of like set beliefs that could be damaging. So I always want to grow. Dami ko sinabi. Pero basically yun.
Reese, you're so my girl when you kept talking about this. Learn, grow, humility. I was like, oh, kinalimutan because this is
Oh.
the learning never stops. And the moment, we hear someone say na alam ko na yan, magaling na ako, ganyan. And so hearing you say that, no, I will not cry.
Ay, grabe.
Yeah, madali ako when I see someone talk about something so true, so passionate, even if you make me watch, let's say cooking shows on Netflix, I really tear up because as long as I see passion and honesty and things. So thank you, Ruiz. I couldn't have thought of a better person to join us in our maiden flight for SoChal. This is what this is all about, conversations. And I'm so happy I finally got to talk to you from all aspects. Well, remember, not so much about the mommy side yet, but hopefully next time. My takeaway, more than the spreadsheets, is keep getting better. Thank you so much, Reese. Before we go, is there anything that you want to share with them? Look forward to the partnership with IKEA, maybe the other things that you do, and maybe if you want to tell them where to get this wonderful spreadsheets of yours as well, go ahead.
Yes! Oo nga. So, well, first of all, thanks, Chal, and thanks to your team for giving me this space and this platform. I know that you guys are going through so much as well, and for you to put this platform up to help people and inspire other people is such a great thing to do. And I'm sure in the near future, a lot of the people who are watching right now or who are listening, like who this will reach in whatever shape or form, they will be inspired. So thank you for putting this together. I don't have a lot of things to promote because they're upcoming. So definitely the IKEA partnership is coming up. We're opening soon. We are looking forward to better days, but we're also trying to keep everyone safe all at the same time. So it's a very challenging time, but I hope we find some inspiration in it as well. Because even those who are like suffering from this very challenging time are giving us hope. So thanks so much for what you do, Shal. Thanks for the team. Thanks to the team as well.
No, thank you. 5:58, we're right on the dot. Ang galing naman natin with timing. But
Oo nga.
this much I can say to anyone who will be listening to this in the future. Super lighthearted, sarap kausap. There's joy, but then there's also so much weight in the words that you say. Like every word that you say, you really feel, okay, there's wisdom, there's depth. Okay, and it didn't need to be heavy talk, which is beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, Reese. Have a beautiful weekend. And to everyone else, have a beautiful weekend. We will be releasing more details about the podcast soon, so you know where to listen in while you're showering. Maybe you're cooking and you want to kind of get inspired with what Reese has shared, then go ahead and listen in. So that's going to come up soon. Thank you so much. Once again, Reese Fernandez, Ruiz of R2R, spreadsheets, yun talaga yung tumatak, and of many, many, many other things. But best of all, of a person who's always trying to make things better. Thank you, Reese.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Touchdown! On behalf of the SoChal crew, we'd like to thank you for flying with us on today's episode. SoChal takes flight with Geron Travel. Experience life through travel. Visit at Geron Travel on Instagram and on Facebook. Book it to make your travel happen on www.gerontravel.com. Want to be a travel buddy affiliate? Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a woman with a budding career, at whatever age or with whatever experience, here's something for you. Work from home, be your own boss, manage your own time, and earn extra by sharing and selling amazing travel products and services. Just send us a message at info@gerontravel.com. Pretty nails are healthy nails, and nail care is self-care. Have a posh experience that feels good from your tips to your toes with signature treatments and products. Visit and shop at poshnails.com.ph and follow Posh Nails on IG. Air Trav. The islands of the Philippines are closer than you think. Let's fly and experience premium and safe travel service with AirTrav. Visit airtrav.ph on their website and on Instagram. Mafe Management, a company dedicated to empowering individuals and working together in making dreams come true in both the entertainment and public relations industry.